Hi, I'm Sheila Walsh. Let me ask you a question. Has God ever messed with your schedule? I know I often feel that way. And it's funny, I was reading through the New Testament the other day and I came across two sisters that I really identified with. You'll know them perhaps, Mary and Martha. We read the first story in Luke chapter 10 when they felt Jesus came too early and they weren't ready. You remember Jesus and the disciples came for a meal and they hadn't finished the preparations. And it's a story that Martha gets a bit of a bad rap for because she says, Lord, why don't you tell my sister to stop what she's doing and help me? And Jesus said, you know what, she's chosen a good thing and I'm not going to take it from her. So when God interrupts your schedule, pay attention. It's never an accident. Perhaps the Lord arrives in a situation before you anticipated, but I learned from Mary that when God shows up, I drop what I'm doing and I pay attention. But the next story was far more heartbreaking. It's when they believed that Jesus came too late. You might remember that story. It's found in John's Gospel, chapter 11. And it's the story of when they send to Jesus and say, Lord, Lazarus, the one whom you love, is sick. Please come. And Jesus, when he hears the news, he's about one day away, 20 miles across the River Jordan. It says that when Jesus hears that Lazarus is sick, he stays 2 more days. Have you ever been in a situation where you needed God to answer a prayer and you needed him to answer now? And it's not a selfish thing you're praying for, it's something that really matters, but it seems as if heaven is silent. I've learned that God is never too early and never too late. But the interesting thing is, even when we think God is too late, think back to the story of Mary and Martha when Lazarus is in the tomb. We read that short verse, Jesus wept. Really, there's a whole book in that little tiny verse, because even though Jesus knows he's about to restore Lazarus, bring him back from the dead, restore him to the sisters, he still weeps for our pain in the process. So I just wanted to remind you today, however God's timing seems, he never comes too early and he never comes too late. He sees everything that's happening and he feels your pain. God loves you more than you'll ever understand.